Hi, welcome back to Movie Review Mom. Thanks for spending a few minutes while we talk about movies. I know I'm the one doing all the talking, but thanks for being here. So the movie that I want to talk about today is called Beckett. This dramatic thriller airs globally on Netflix on August 13th, 2021. It's rated R and is an hour and 48 minutes. I'll give you my movie review mom grade toward the end of my review. So first, we'll start off in a nutshell. Then I'll point out things I liked and didn't like, give you movie recommendations for other films that this movie reminded me of that I think you'll also enjoy, and themes worth talking about if you watch this with your family. All right, so this is the summary of the story. While vacationing in Greece, American tourist Beckett, who's played by John David Washington, becomes the target of a manhunt after a devastating car accident. Forced to run for his life and desperate to get across the country to the American embassy to clear his name and get help, tensions escalate as the authorities close in, political unrest mounts, and Beckett falls even deeper into a dangerous web of conspiracy. Dun, dun, dun. This is the English language debut feature film by Italian director 𝗕𝗲𝗰𝗸𝗃𝗶𝗲𝗄. How's that? I hope I pronounced that correctly. So let me tell you about some of the things that I liked in addition to saying that Italian director's name. First of all, I adore John David Washington in every movie that he does. I think he's an upcoming movie star with all of the pedigree required to earn Academy Awards in the future. Serious acting chops run clearly in his family and in his blood, as he's the son of Academy Award winner Denzel Washington. I thought John David was brilliant in the movie BlacKkKlansman and in Malcolm and Marie. I was surprised that that movie didn't get more Oscar buzz around it because I thought the performances were great all around. So about this movie, John David Washington personally stated, quote, "You don't know what a person is capable of when they're staring death in the face. The will to survive gives you superhuman strength in some ways. So I found myself admiring what Beckett does to survive, but also realizing that he couldn't live with himself if he didn't do the right thing." End quote. So with the exception of two very steep jumps, John David Washington did all of his own stunts, which is pretty impressive once you see all the stuff that he does. He tried not to do a lot of running and exercise before filming, and he even gained weight so that he could really look like an ordinary guy struggling to survive. He gave a shout out to Krispy Kreme donuts for helping him prepare. That's the kind of role I want to play. I also really love Alicia Vikander and thought she looked absolutely amazing in Tomb Raider. She's currently also starring in The Green Knight, which is also in theaters right now. Vicky Krieps is always mesmerizing to watch and has such a great European look. Another one of her movies is currently in theaters called Old, directed by M. Night Shyamalan. And catch my movie review of that one before you see it for sure, because there's some content you need to know about. No spoilers, just to give you the heads up, especially if you're a parent and you want to, kind of get a sneak peek into the content. Anyway, I loved Vicky Krieps in the movie Phantom Thread, and that movie still haunts me in my mind how it unfolded, and I loved it. So in this movie, we get to go to Greece. Yay, I love to travel in the movies. And I loved seeing this young couple visit what looked like Delphi in Greece. I actually got to go there a few hot summers ago. And so it wasn't beautiful and green and cold like it's demonstrated or illustrated in the movie. I highly recommend visiting Greece. It was on my bucket list forever. Finally got to go. We had such a fantastic trip, and I absolutely loved the history and the food. Greek food is so much better in Greece than it is in America. What surprised me was the unbelievable amount of graffiti all over everything in Athens. And the movie definitely shows that very clearly. It saddened me when I was there to see such an ancient, important city reduced to such vast graffiti covering everything. The director explained that the reason why he chose Greece as the setting for the story is because it's a country that's been through a lot of political and economic turmoil, perfect for a political conspiracy. And the people there really do embrace their ability to speak up through protests. And you see that in the movie for sure. Greece also offers a diverse landscape from oceans and rivers, dramatic canyons, and a very dense urban city. And you get to see all of that. They filmed no more than 2 days in a row in the same place. So you really do get a touch of a lot of parts of Greece. So fun fact, the movie was originally titled Born to be Murdered, but was changed when Netflix purchased the distribution rights. So Ferdinando Cito Filomarino stated, the inspiration for Beckett came from a multitude of manhunt stories in cinema and literature where these great stakes are all placed on the shoulders of a single character. So in creating this story, I thought it would be interesting to see what would happen if that archetypal hero was just an ordinary guy. So the premise revolved around the question, how does an ordinary man manage in extreme situations like this? End quote. Kevin A. Rice wrote the screenplay as well as produced the film. I love how just when you think that the protagonist is finally safe, things really finally ramp up even more. You can relate to the protagonist because he's not a superhero. We get to imagine how we would have reacted to these certain situations. And in fact, while my husband and I watched this movie, I kept yelling, well, he did too, yelling at the screen to tell the protagonist, John David Washington, what we thought he should be doing to survive. So that's engaging filmmaking. So I also really enjoyed the ending. Now, there were some things I didn't like or thought definitely could have been improved upon. First of all, despite the protagonist constantly being on the run, many of the scenes are surprisingly slow paced. My husband and I kept looking at each other like, this is oddly slow, considering the things that he was going through. You'll see what I mean. But the good news is it finally picks up in Act 3. Some of the viewers won't appreciate the political aspects of the film. And there are a few times when the protagonist really shouldn't have survived a particular moment or stunt. Even John David Washington's character states, I shouldn't have lived. And then ultimately, it's unclear what the real story with the embassy is. And I'm not sure if it was just me or if it was just a little vague what some of the motivations were. No spoiler there. There's some other stuff going on. I'm just saying. Now, let me give you some tips for parents. First of all, there is a lot of violence with weapons as well as hand-to-hand combat. There is some gory blood, and some people die. There's some profanity with a lot of F-bombs, and a child is kidnapped. People are in perilous situations. And of course, our protagonist has to constantly be on the run. So some interesting themes that are worth talking about are the everyday man, the ordinary man, and what would you be capable of doing? Survival, manhunt, politics, political activism, truth, justice, greed and power, fate, trust, heroes and doing the right thing, circumstances, mourning and grief after someone's died, being in the wrong place at the wrong time, and persistence and grit. All right, so you want to know what movie review mom grade I'm giving this film? I thought it was extremely slow paced in Acts 1 and Acts 2. I kept waiting to get excited. And then finally in Act 3, things pick up. Beautiful cinematography, a great performance. So overall, my movie review mom grade is a B. So before we go, let me give you some recommendations for 2 other manhunt type of movies that I instantly thought of and which have been all-time favorites for me for years. The first one was my husband's all-time favorite movie for many, many years when we first met. It's called The Fugitive with Harrison Ford. We've watched it together a million times, and I think it's really well done, and you just really get engaged in that movie. Another movie is called U.S. Marshals and has some fantastic acting in that one. And again, the spirit of manhunt and searching and good guys and bad guys and which side are you on? So I think that you'll really enjoy those movies if you haven't seen them before. All right, that's it for my review. Thanks for visiting, and be sure and subscribe. And if you haven't already, click on that little bell and it'll notify you every time I upload a new movie review or trailer reaction. And a big thanks to those of you who are watching my reviews and supporting me on Patreon. I truly appreciate it. All right, that's it. I hope you have a fantastic day. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.